Hi there, welcome back to my space, and of course welcome back to the channel. So it's been a minute since I made a video because my camera went down, but I've got a new one. I'm going to do a video about it, a little review. It's a Panasonic Lumix G7 camera. I used to have a GH2, so it was time to upgrade. I was like 4 models back. So anyway, this one looks great, sounds great, I hope. Well, I have separate sound recording, but it looks great. And I'm going to jump back into the Schecter. So the last thing we talked about was the Schecter. And we determined that these were indeed Schecter Super Rock pickups, more than likely original Schecter hardware, the chrome over bass, you can just tell. And we have the stamped Schecter tuners. What we're not completely sure about is the neck. The neck could potentially be a ESP or a Moon or C&J. I'm not sure which one they were using at the time, but we did determine that the body was a C&J, and I believe it's mahogany. There's a little cutaway right here, and I can see that the wood is kind of red. Could be walnut also, but just from the feel of it and the sound of it, mahogany is one of the few woods I feel like I can identify, especially if I'm listening to like a distorted power chord, you know, like a rock and roll chord. If I hear a mahogany guitar come in, I can usually tell that it's mahogany wood just because I've had so many mahogany guitars and I know what they sound like. But the other thing about this neck that could make it a Schecter neck, a holdover, was that it was 21 frets, the original vintage style with the screw on the bottom. And it is bird's eye maple officially. It's got very little figuring, but it's there. And so that's the kind of guitars, I mean, that's the kind of necks they were using. They were using bird's eye maple, 21 vintage, but they usually typically had a skunk stripe down the back. So I'm not sure about the neck, and the body is C&J. I don't know if it was C&J's body or if it was stamped once they took ownership of the company. I don't know, but more than likely they got the body from C&J. The neck might have been a holdover. I know the hardware was a holdover, and I have the Super Rock pickups, and I also know that the guitar is a fantastic guitar that I love, you know, probably more than any other guitar, because like I said, I had the most like sort of, you know, verified success with this guitar as far as other people noticing and industry people noticing, and it just plays like a dream. I mean, it sounds amazing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a really quick playing demo where I'll run through both pickups and combined, and there's a lot of options with this because you have, like a Gibson, you have 3 positions and you have a push-pull on both volume and tone. So on the bridge setting, you could do the volume lifted or the tone lifted or both lifted. The same with the middle position and the same with the neck position. So that gives you a lot of, I mean, you could add it up, but it gives you a lot of tonal options. And I find that the single coil thing gives you like a nicer kind of stratty sort of true telly sound. Not really a true telly sound because it's a mahogany body, but you get more of like a telly sound with the, you know, it picked up, the pots picked up, where you're only using one side of the pickup. But I think that it, for rock chords and stuff, it sounds great slammed. It's kind of like a Les Paul. You'll see in a second. But the difference is because it's got the maple and the ebony fretboard. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking this. Yeah, this is could be rosewood. I can't tell, but I think this is probably rosewood, but it could be ebony fretboard. Well, anyway, that changes the sound. Makes it sound more telly, but the body is mahogany. I think could be walnut, but I'm pretty sure it's mahogany. So I'm gonna just run through and play a few chords and stuff, just so you can hear how the guitar has like a shimmer and a shine to it that I really like for chording. It makes a great like rhythm guitar. That's what I used it for. It's harder for me to play licks on these types of necks. I end up having to bend up so high with this type of radius. I believe it's a 725, and it's super fat neck. So I like to play chords on this. I'm not a good enough player to really get it right, so to speak. So but anyway, I want to let you hear it be going directly out of the guitar. No pedal chain. I've got this Northeast cable. I love these, by the way. This is going directly into my GDS 18-watt amp that I built myself. I've got the tone on 10 and I've got the volume on 10, and that's usually what I do. Sometimes I'll roll, on some guitars I'll roll the tone to the middle, and this one you could roll the tone to the middle because it's fairly bright, but I just like to hear that extra sparkle, so I got it cranked all the way up. And yeah, so here we go. I'm gonna play, I'll start with the bridge, You'll see me picking these things up, and then I'll move to the middle position where you hear both pickups, and then finally we'll do the neck, and I'll just try to kind of play the same thing so you can hear how different it sounds and how many different tones you can get out of it, different kind of looks from the guitar. It makes it very versatile. Okay, so here we go. Schecter from Dallas, Texas, with Van Nuys parts on it, ready to rock. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now I'm going to do that kind of same stuff in the middle position. So you hear both pickups together. And I've still got the volume and tone. Actually, no, now I'll do the same thing, but I'm going to pick up on the volume first, then I'll pick up on the tone so you can hear how that same kind of thing sounds with the pickups separated, where it's only one part of one magnet at a time as opposed to both of them. So here we go. Okay, so that was the bridge pickup with first the volume split, then the tone. Okay, so now I'm gonna press these back down again. I'm gonna go to the middle position where we can combine the two pickups, see how that sounds. Then I'll pick up the switches and do the same thing again. So I find that position to give you the most of that kind of quacky stratty sound that's so cool, like the Peter Green flipped magnet sound that Jimmy Page got with his wiring. So you basically have the Jimmy Page wiring sound right here in this thing without all that extra mess, you know. His wiring is pretty complex, and they got the extra two knobs. So this is like a simplified Jimmy Page kind of wiring thing. It's really awesome. So I like the way that one sound together. Now I'm going to go to the neck and do the same thing, and then I'll go through the pickups and do a couple different selections and play some single notes and like leady type stuff so you can just see how that tone is. All right, here we go. Now we're going to the neck. Okay, so that was the neck with both the normal way and then with the volume lifted and the tone lifted as well. So there's a bunch of different ways you can just lift the tone, just lift the volume, but I'll just run through real quick and I'll just let you hear some single note stuff so that you can kind of get a feel for what it sounds like in some of those positions. All right, so here we go. We'll just run a little riff thing up here with some single notes. And I'll start on the bridge. I'll pick up the, some of this stuff and then just kind of give you a taste. All right, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so hopefully that gave you some kind of idea or concept of what the guitar sounds like. I think it's a very versatile guitar. It can make a lot of sounds. You know, it's like a Les Paul meets Tele, and the whole thing is it's just an incredible guitar, and I feel very fortunate to have encountered it and have had it in my life all this time. So anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to have my new camera, and I'm going to make a video about that camera so you can find out about that, because it's a really nice one for not much money. Anyway, thanks again. See you next time.